Welcome back, friends. A new topic, new interesting thing called as importing data from a single Excel file. What is this business called as, import data? Let me explain you the scenario. Here you have rate card, you have, customer. Now let's say you need employee data here. Now this employee data is given to you in some Excel file. For example, I am now going there. Let's say this one. If this is that West, if I double click onto this, you'll find a file will open. There is an Excel file. It has data like employee ID, first name, last name, job area, mail ID. So many details there. We'll understand it, as we go. This data you want to actually bring into your main sheet because that's coming from one of the place there. Remember, friends, when you will be working into the organizations, it's very common that you will not be maintaining all the data in Excel. You will do the analysis in Excel. The data will be downloaded from some online systems, or someone else will maintain that data and he will pass that file to you. Your job will be to go ahead, combine that data, process that data, create pivot tables, do the analysis, take the decision, but you are not going to maintain that data. And whenever someone else is going to maintain the data, someone else is going to download it from the system, it's going to be dynamic, friends. If I take this particular thing today, let me check how many records are there. If I go ahead end and down, there are 304. So looks like there are 304 employees into this zone called as the West. In the West zone, there are 300 and odd employees. So the crude way was going ahead, taking this whole thing, copy it, paste it into the thing. Not really a very intelligent way of doing it. Because tomorrow, if there is a new file, if there are some records added, some records deleted, you have to redo that whole thing. And not only that, you'll have to write pivot tables and analysis again on that because the data itself will undergo the change. So this is not the most smart way, and that's where we come across a thing called as a query. The queries are there. How do we go ahead and import? I will just show it to you. So just hold on for a while. I'm just closing this file, and now I am clicking on data. Look at it here, data, get data from file and Excel. There are so many options, by the way, but we'll go ahead and understand this because this is commonly required. From Excel workbook, click onto the Excel workbook and a wizard or a dialog will start now. Look at here, the dialog has started. Is saying that where is your Excel file? He's asking you the address of that particular Excel file. I have already kept it into a particular folder like employee master and West. If I click onto this West, he is asking me import. Click on import. Let's see what does he ask. He will ask you saying that where is that data in this file. Where is that data? There could be multiple sheets. Currently there was only one sheet, but it would have shown sheet 1, sheet 2, whatever. So click on to that. The moment you click, he has structured that automatically, employee ID, all that thing, whatever was where the details there, it has came. Take the small drop down for load and then click on load. Basically load the data. You're loading this data. See what happens. He is doing something. He has created a new sheet called as a sheet 1 now, and this data has come, and I'm sure by now you would have realized that it has created it as a table. This color shows it's a table. Look at it here, table design menu has come here. Okay, it is saying sheet 1 303 rows loaded. Basically that's what he's saying. That's how we have brought this whole data here. Okay, now let's take this step. Next step, let's say I want to see by specialization how many people are there. Okay, see, the moment sheet 1 is there, doesn't look to be really a great name. So let me call it as EMP master because you should give a name. Double click it and you're able to rename the sheet. So I renamed it here. I am going to see the analysis, and by now because last video I have shown it to you how to create the pivot table. So here I say insert the table and pivot table. He's saying new one, the sheet 1, which is the name of this table. So that's wrong, but we'll go ahead and rectify it later in the main exercise. So sheet 1 has become the name of the table. Remember, what you have renamed is a worksheet, but table itself has a name, so which is remaining. But nevertheless, click on OK. Okay. Now go ahead and pull the specialization, as you know very well, into the rows and pull the first name into the values. Why am I saying first name? If I pull the employee ID, see what happens. If I pull employee ID into the values, it is showing some big numbers here. It is because employee ID being a numerical field, he is trying to do it as a sum. Simpler way, take this drop down, click on values field setting, and rather than sum, click on count, click on OK, and you will get the breakup of 303. So there are two steps because it's a numeric field. What was the smarter, faster way? I will go ahead and surrender this back here and pull the first name. Now remember, the moment I do first name being an alphabetical thing, it automatically counts, does it as a count. So that's the advantage. You can pull any of the field there, it doesn't matter. It will go ahead and you'll have to see it as a count. So this is how we have seen it here. Okay. Now, what's the advantage of importing it is I'm going to explain it to you. What does it mean? That if I go back to this thing, this is West file. Okay. I am going to, make a copy of this because I will need this data. So Control C, and I am just pasting it here. I think I have already made a copy of it. So no need to do that. Here it is there. So no need to do that. Now I am going back here, opening this West file. Let's say next week, next week you got the copy of this similar data, similar file, that department, maybe the HR department, they gave you the new file now. Obviously the name is exactly same. If I go ahead and let's say this time there were handful of employees which were not there, so many, I'm just doing right button delete. Basically I'm deleting the rows. Okay, save this file. It got saved. I close this file. Now next week when you get that data in that folder, you need not have to worry about anything. Click here, right button and refresh. Remember, the moment you press refresh, now it will go ahead and do some processing internally. So did you notice 269? There were 303 records. Now it has become 269. Click here in this. This is still 303. Never worry, friends. Click anywhere, right button and refresh. So this weekend there are 268 employees and breakup is also updated. Basically, if you would have pasted it, you'll have to paste it again and recreate the pivot table. Here it is not required. You have done all that thing. Only right button and refresh on the data, and right button and refresh on any pivot tables you have created. Remember, friends, this is a brilliant way of doing things. Whenever you are going to get the data from some system or some department, which is a structured data, and in one single Excel file, the name of the file you should not change. If there is a department which is giving, the name of the file should be same. Don't, sometimes people have a practice to go ahead and say that employee master as on something, employee master as on. Don't do that, because otherwise query will not be able to link to that. For query to link it, the name is got to be same, folder has to be same there. So that's how, if it is there, you should do it. However, there is a case, and the case is that if there are multiple departments who are going to give you the data for their own departments, but in the same format. How does that happen? That we'll see into the next video, how to import the things from a folder.